And welcome to Making a World of Warcraft video, a how-to guide. This video is going to go through the basic steps of how to create a World of Warcraft video that has the World of Warcraft video, game sound, vent sound, and also your own microphone sound, all put together in one video. Basically what you need, um, I'm going to show you how to do this on a Macintosh. Basically that's what I use and that's what I know. You can do it on a PC. I don't know how to do it on a PC. From what I understand, it's pretty easy to do it on a Mac. Um, so if you could do it on a Mac, it's going to be a lot easier for you. Um, Soundflower, which is a program from the Macintosh that lets you route your audio settings, your audio ins and outs a little bit, and this is used to get the audio um, mixed together so that you can record it. You also need a audio recording program. I use Wiretap Studio from Ambrosia Software. You can use something else. I like to use this because it's a really good program. Whatever it is you use, you kind of need to have it support recording two inputs. That's how you get all of the audio together that you need. You should have a gaming headset. You really need that. If you're going to do any kind of commentary on your videos, if you're a raid leader and you're in there talking on Vent, you need to be able to record what you're saying and not just what's going on in Vent. And you need the World of Warcraft for Mac client, of course. There's actually a movie recording feature built into the Mac client. So to record the video of you in doing something, raiding or whatever, all you need is the Mac World of Warcraft program, and it has it built in so you can record the videos. And then to edit everything together, I use QuickTime Player 7 Pro. That's an older version of QuickTime Player, but it works really well for editing. I have the Pro version, which I think is a $30 upgrade. I got that a long time ago, but I'm not sure if it requires the Pro version to do this, but I would get it. It's useful. I think it's 30 bucks. So that's what you need. You need to set it all up. You have to configure your sound settings and system preferences, um, your Mac recording settings for the movie, and you have to set up a hotkey for it, and you got to get your audio ins and outs set up properly and Soundflower set up properly. I'll go through that real quick right now, but let me just give you a highlight of what this is all going to accomplish. So basically what I'm trying to do is record the World of Warcraft sound. The video and the sound is recorded just by the game itself, the client. But if you want to add vent to it and your own talking on the headset, that's actually three different video audio inputs. My Wiretap Studio program only records two inputs. So if I've got three things I want to record and a program that only records two things, this is where the Soundflower comes in. You download Soundflower and install it. I use Soundflower 2 channel because that's all you really need. And I take the sound out from World of Warcraft to Soundflower. I take the sound out from Vent to Soundflower. And now with my Wiretap Studio audio recording program, I can just record Soundflower and Planetronics headset, and I get everything, all three things. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go to your World of Warcraft client. You're going to set up your Mac options. This is where your movie recording settings are. I use 1344 by 840. My video is actually set at 1920 by 1200, but I record a little bit less so that I don't impact my frame rates and stuff. And this is still an HD quality resolution. Actually, you can go down as far as 1280 by 800, and that's still results in a HD resolution video, because it's at least 720. To get 720p, you need 720 or more here. I record the interface. I don't record the cursor because right now the Mac has a problem. There's a bug that just came out in the latest version where the cursor is upside down and it doesn't record the cursor properly. So I just turn that off so it's not annoying everything. I record sound and then I show the recording icon. So when you start and stop recording, when you start, you'll see a movie icon up here to show you that you are recording, and then when I stop, the icon goes away. It's nice to have that. Don't check these. You want to compress when you want to compress. You just click this, come to the screen, click this button to compress. Frame rate, this comes set usually at 29.97. I don't know what the difference between that and 30 is. I just leave it at that because that was what it was default set at. For the compression, I use H.264. There's other settings in here, but H.264 is the native format for YouTube. It understands it natively, so when you have your resulting compressed video and you go to upload it, YouTube can, I guess, process it much faster. Okay, so there's your Mac recording options. The last thing you want to do is you want to make sure you go into your key bindings. You're going to scroll down to the bottom here where your movie recording key bindings are, and there's a start-stop recording. And I use a tilde, which is at the top left of the keyboard, so it's easy for me to hit to start and stop recording. Okay, and then for sound, you go into options, click on sound, and then game sound output. You can have your sound output go to your speakers, but once you've loaded Soundflower, you get this option in here. It's a new option, Soundflower 2-channel. I always use the 2-channel. 16 channels not needed. So I send my World of Warcraft game sound out to Soundflower. And that's pretty much all you have to do on the World of Warcraft client to set that up for recording. So that was this. Now I have to set up Vent to do sound out. So if you go to Vent here, you click on your setup button. Under voice here, you have your sound output. You're going to choose, you could choose to have the Vent sound go through your headphones, but to get it recorded, you also want to send your sound output for Vent to Soundflower 2-channel. And once you've done that, okay, so now I have World of Warcraft and Vent, the sound out going to Soundflower. So now when I want to record, all I need to do is select the Soundflower and then my headset, and I'm getting all three of these things recorded in my audio recording. So back here, when you load Wiretap Pro, this is what you get. Actually, I use my resolution for video here. I usually set this at windowed, full screen windowed. That way I'm full screen, but you'll notice I actually I'm not like it's just like a windowed version of full screen. So now other Mac windows can show up with the World of Warcraft window. So this is Wiretap Studio. Pull this up a little bit so you can see down here. Okay, so I have it set here, and actually I'll fix it because it's not set right. So you want to select your two inputs to record. The first one's going to be Soundflower 2-channel, and that's going to give you World of Warcraft and Vent. Then for your second input, I'm going to choose my headset, my Plantronics headset. So now when I go to record, I can move that back up and put this down here so it's nice and out of the way. So now when I'm playing, when I want to record the audio from the game, from Vent, and from my microphone, all I have to do is come here and click on record, and now as you can see, it's recording sounds. from everything. So, and then when you're done, you click stop, and you've got an audio recording of what you just had. Okay, so that accomplishes this. Now, the next step then is to actually record your movie. You've got everything set up. You want to go into World of Warcraft and say your rating. You want to click on record on Wiretap Studio first. That's your audio recording program. You want to click on that first so you're starting to record your audio before you record the video. That's so that you can synchronize things a little bit better. On your microphone, I have vent set to push to talk. So if I don't push to talk and I click record on Wiretap Studio, it's going to still record what I say into the microphone. So I say 3, 2, 1, mark. And when I say mark, I press on the hotkey. So I now have the, as close as possible, the I can add the sound later to the video file, and I can synchronize the two up. What you need to do this, because if you don't do this, you'll have a sound file and a video recording, and you won't be able to exactly line them up. It's still pretty hard to get it exact, but you want to get it as close as possible. Okay, so that's recording the movie. I'll show that real quick. So basically, if I'm reading here, I click on the wiretap first, and then I say, and watch up here, because when I say mark, I'm going to hit the, I think it's over in here, the movie recording feature. So 3, 2, 1, mark. Okay, so now it's recording. I'm recording a video of this, and when I'm done, I just hit it again, and now it's done. And I come back here and I click this off. So now I just created a recording of me talking and game sound. I don't have vent up right now, but I'll show you how to edit this all together in just a second. So now you need to edit your video. You're going to compress your video, and then it's really important. You're going to go into QuickTime 7 Pro, and you're going to open the files that you recorded. The two files, you have a file that was recorded from the Mac, the World of Warcraft client, and that actually goes into your World of Warcraft folder here, World of Warcraft. So there's a movies folder inside World of Warcraft. So whenever you click on record, I changed my path so it doesn't go in here, but this is where your movies will be. There's a way to change the path of where it's going to save your movies. If you go to the WTF folder in config.wtf, there's a set line in here. Here it is. Set movie recording path, and then quote /volume/project/wow end quote. This statement here will tell World of Warcraft when I start recording, it's going to instead go to this drive over here, and inside the WoW folder, and it's going to save all the things in here. This drive, that's so that it doesn't save it on my system drive where I have my game and my system operating system, and this is just a video drive for saving videos and editing and stuff like that. It's like terabytes of storage there. Okay, so to edit your file, you're going to go into QuickTime 7 Pro. You're going to open your movie recording file, and then you're also going to open your audio recording file. You're going to extract and synchronize the game sound. I'll show you how to do this. You're going to delete your game sound and replace it with your edited recording. Sounds a little complicated, but it's actually very easy. And then when you're done with that, you save and publish your movie. It's important when you're editing in QuickTime, when you're done, you want to use save as to save the edited movie as a new file name. if you don't, it doesn't actually save the changes you made. It's weird. If you listen to it on your Mac, it saves the changes, but if you upload it to YouTube, it'll be the unedited version. Then you can upload your file to YouTube. There's also one other thing to be aware of. If you do a lot of edits to a QuickTime movie, what you do is you create different tracks. And if there's anything more than one video and one audio track, and you upload that file to YouTube, you're going to miss all the extra tracks. It only looks for one video and one audio track. So if you've done a lot of editing, say you followed this guide and you also added some punk rock music or whatever, I don't know, it seems like everyone has to have really terrible music on their World of Warcraft videos. You'll end up with more audio tracks if you add another sound file to it, which you can do. To get it to upload to YouTube, you need to use the export option. What that's going to do is it's going to save the movie, and it's going to flatten it out. So if you have multiple tracks, it'll flatten it out and bring it down to one video and one audio track. Alright, I'll show you real briefly. I don't know how much time I have left here, but how I do this. As an example, I will go to one of the videos that I saved. It's one of these 1332. You'll notice when you record in the Mac recording software, it'll say what the file name is, and it creates a file name, and it puts the date in, and it puts a number behind it. So every time you create a recording, there's always a unique name that's being saved as. Alright, so I'm going to edit this movie, but what I have to do is I have to go into, so this is where the file is, and then if I go to Wiretap Studio and I go in here to my file folder, this is actually the audio for it. Each time you record and then stop in Wiretap Studio, it's just going to add another file here, and it uses whatever the name is of the first input, and it just increments the number. So you need to kind of, when you record something, say into the microphone also maybe what the name of the file is, so later you know which one it is. And then you can go in and edit the name. Here, if you want to, you can save this to folder and put this in a folder so that you can find it later, and that's what I do. Okay, so to edit this movie, I start off in QuickTime Player 7, okay, and I go File, Open File, and I guess I'll start out with the audio file. So the audio file that that I recorded was my Ragnaros 1332 audio file here. Okay, so that's going to open this. I like to stretch this to the whole screen. Alright, so this is the Wiretap Studio audio file. I'm going to now open the video file. So that was in my WoW folder, and it was not Blackwing Descent, Fear and Keep, and it was 1332. Here it is, 1332. Open. Alright, let me get rid of this. Get rid of that. Okay, so these are the two things I have. I have this video that I've recorded, and then this is the audio recording. So now if I play this video, you don't hear anything. Because the WoW recording software will only record just the game sound. It won't record anything else. And I can't for the life of me figure out how to get it to record anything else. It just doesn't do it. But then if you go up to this,
3, 2, 1, mark.
you hear me talking,
What about 3, 2?
and you hear vent. You heard me say 1332, so I could know that this audio file goes with this video file. See, in here it says 1332. That's how I know that this audio file goes with this video file. But this, notice this has the game sound in it, just like this one does. But it has more. This one has the game sound and vent and me talking. Okay. So now this is the important part. In this video here, you can go to Window, Show Movie Properties. Okay, and in here now you can actually see the video track and the soundtrack. And remember, I saved the video track as an H.264, soundtrack is an AAC file. What I can do is I can, for this video, extract it. It's still in there, but it gives me a copy of the soundtrack for this video. And what I do that for is, this is my recorded video, this is the sound from here. So it's just the game sound and that's it. But the thing about this sound is, this sound file is exactly synchronized with this video. This sound file, I hit record, 3, 2, 1, mark. So right when I say mark in the sound file is when I started this video. So 0 time on this video is around 2 to 3 seconds into this sound file. So if I were to just take this sound file and stick it into here, you'd have video that was 2 or 3 seconds off from the audio, and it gets very obvious. You see me cast things, and then you hear the sound of me casting it seconds later. It just doesn't work. You have to get your audio synchronized with your video. So to do that, the first thing I do is listen to or watch the time as I go 3, 2, 1,
mark.
And I say mark right as it goes to 2 seconds.
3, 2, 1, mark.
So that might actually be easy to figure out. So what I do is I grab this little slider bar, the end, there's a start one and a stop one, and I move this until it reaches 2 seconds. Just 2. And then I hit delete. So now it starts at mark. So then the next thing I do to make sure that these two are synchronized is I listen in the actual game sound for some key thing to happen, and I watch at what number it is. And there's not really much going on now, but okay, so there was something that happened at 9 seconds. That sounded like a Riptide or something like that. Some Resto Shaman junk. That was 9 seconds. Yeah, so I'll go back before it. Right as it turned to 9, you heard that sound. So then up here I just check to make sure. Let me move this up to 5, 6. Okay, so right as this turns to 9, you should hear the sound. Not before it turns to 9, not after it turns, right as it turns to 9.
Yeah, you look, I cast a trick of it.
It sounded slightly before. It's not really going to be exact. So I think it's pretty close. So once you're happy that these two are synchronized, now if this wasn't synchronized, if you forgot to say 3, 2, 1 mark, which gets you really close to synchronizing these anyway, because you just start this or edit out to where you said mark to 0 to get it to where you started the video. You can use this to compare these two. You always want to edit this file to make it sound exact to this file. So when something happens in here, alright, so I'm done synchronizing now. I don't need to save that. This is my edited file now. I usually go in here and save this as, save as, I change the name to underscore edited, and I save it in the same folder here, just so that you know, I keep this, the edited version of this. Okay, so now this video here still has these two tracks because I used extract. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the soundtrack from this video and I'm going to delete it. Okay, bam, it's gone. Now it's just a video track. Okay, so if I go to this video and click play, you know, when you do that, you have to make sure you have the properties for this video when you do this. And don't select on this because you'll get the wrong thing. So now, as you can see, all I have is the video, there's no sound. Alright, so last thing to be aware of, this sound file, you know, might run on for longer than the video, I don't know. So let's see, this is 8 minutes 31 seconds, and this video is, I try to stop them at the same exact time, because if you stop them at the same exact time, you don't have to worry about differences here either. So this is 8:32 and this is 8:31. So essentially my video is longer than the audio, which is fine. So when I paste the audio into here, I just have 1 extra second where there won't be any sound. I can edit that out anyway. Alright, so that's not a big deal. What I could do is edit this down to, you know, one more 8:31, but I don't need to do that. Alright, so it's important here that this video file, that your current marker be at the very beginning of the file, 0. And what you want to do is go to your audio file and select the whole thing. So this whole thing, you slid this end over here, and this is dark, so it's all selected, and go edit, copy. Then click down here on this and go edit, add to movie. Now you just pasted the sound from this file into this file. So now it has 2 tracks again. It has a soundtrack. So if I go back here and I click play, you hear me say mark. So you have the video and the vent audio together.
Yeah, you look,
Okay, and that's it. But you want to save this video now as a new name because you've just edited this, and you don't want to save over the original file. You want to keep the original if this is a good video to keep as an original. So I click save as, and then I go to a new folder that I have, movies, and then I just give it a new name so that I know I don't 10 man. Okay, it's got the date on there. So now it's saving this file. Okay, so now it's 10 man. Now, if you didn't do that, it actually, crazy enough, if you tried to upload, even if you clicked save and not save as, on the Mac it saves it and you can hear all the saved sounds, but when you uploaded it didn't actually save it. The other thing to be aware of, if you add more things to this or do more editing, you may end up with multiple soundtracks or multiple video tracks. If that's the case, you can't just save as, you have to export it, because it needs to be a file with 1 video track and 1 soundtrack to upload it to YouTube. Otherwise it'll just drop some things. And you'll be like, well, why? I know the vent is in it. I can hear the vent on the Mac, but why don't I hear it when I upload it to YouTube? It's because that vent track is an additional track down here, and when you play it on your Mac, it knows how to play it, but when you upload it, YouTube is only just grabbing the first soundtrack. It's not grabbing any additional soundtracks. So if you wanted to then go back in here, you could also move everything back to the beginning and go open a sound file from a CD or something, pick a song and paste it in here, and then you would end up with 2 soundtracks. But then you'd have to go up here to File and go Export, and you'd have to export the movie as a QuickTime movie. Make sure you're using your video's H.264. Keep the settings the same as what they were, and then save that as a new file, an export file, and that will flatten it out if you're to 1 video track and 1 soundtrack. Okay, so that's about it. That's all the I can get rid of this. So now you have your end video here. It's got, once you've synchronized everything to what's going on, you can then edit this file to start it when you want to start it. So notice the action doesn't happen for a while. Okay, so the action starts around 20 something. So maybe,
Alright, let's down.
alright, so I'm going to just delete this. Okay, so now I've start the video around here.
Alright, let's down.
Volume 3, 2, 1.
Alright, that way you don't have to sit through us getting ready to start. And then here at the end where I died, obviously this was a fail video. We don't need all of the die part, so go down to where I died.
And the tanks and the healers.
So maybe there's important conversation
Burn
event.
the ones closest to the hammer. Burn them below 50 so they slow down. He's gonna have to tap. And they're gonna have to be. They're gonna have to be slowed and ran. I mean, the ones closest have to be.
Alright, so anyway, delete some of that stuff. And we'll end it on the loading screen, because everyone loves looking at the loading screen. So there it is, and if all you do is do that, you can do save there. Believe it or not, that works. You know what? I'm not even sure if that works. So if you edit this file and you click save, that might not actually save properly. So I would just go back and save as again. Give it a new name so it's a new file. Because that happens a lot where I go into a movie, I do some deleting or editing, and then it won't. It doesn't capture the changes unless I do save as. So there it is. That is how to make a World of Warcraft video, and you just go to YouTube and upload it. Here's Soundflower. You go to the website, find Soundflower, and download that. Wiretap Studio, that's a program. It costs money. They have a free trial. And then you can go to YouTube and upload your videos and be famous, and everyone will love you. So that's pretty much it.